And welcome back to episode 37 of Backhouse Productions. Our newest guest, we got Hogan, Hayden, Hatten. Fuck. I mean, it kind of takes me a minute to learn your guys' names, honestly. Because, like, when I came here today, or 2 days ago, this is Sunday, what's the date?
19th.
The 19th, yeah. So 2 days ago, I was a little unclear on, like, your guys' names.
Yeah, you know, I think my parents wanted to kind of fuck everybody and name it Hogan Hayden. Makes it kind of tough, but if my mom gets it wrong now and then, you can't really be mad at anybody else for messing it up. So, yeah.
But also, what happened this weekend was I got my hair cut.
Yeah.
From Hogan.
A good haircut.
A damn good haircut.
I just want to say, like, it's been rough. It's ever since the haircut in January, shaving the head, it's been really, like, I think I haven't had sex since New Year's. I'll tell you that. Like, it's been rough.
Well, with a smooth drop fade like that, I can't believe.
Yeah, I don't know what the move is from here. Like, I don't know what card can I actually play with this haircut, because I actually let a guy who's never given a haircut before give me a haircut, and it's it's passable.
I would tell you right now, if you let the viewers decide on this one, it can't be that bad. I mean, your head looked like a coconut before anyways.
Yeah, it did look a lot worse. It does look a tad bit better now.
What you could do is you could just shave it all back down and restart.
Should I just go bald and just, like,
just leave it
say fuck it? Yeah.
Just to the skin, man.
Dude, because it's going to take 6-7 months until I get to that.
No. 3, 4.
So, like, actually spike it up? What?
Oh, no, I'm just telling Hayden. He's got to, like,
What's
talk
going on?
into the mic. Hayden's like this.
No, I'll move it up when I'm ready.
See, that's why it's good with, like, the headphones, because then you can hear how loud you actually are.
I know what you're talking about.
But
this
it's
is pretty
cool.
convenient.
Alrighty. Let's dig into, like, let's take a deep dive into why we're here, why we're talking to you guys. So you play football. You guys both play football at Idaho. And, Hayden, you had a pretty fucking good year. First off, how much, like, work does it actually take to get to that point? Like, do you think you had, like, a different off season than normal? Like, did you just, like, go into last year thinking something different?
Yeah, you know, I had a pretty weird off season. I had shoulder surgery the previous year, so I only ended up playing in, like, the 3 games, and then I missed pretty much all of spring ball with the shoulder surgery. So going in, we got a new staff. There's a lot of things that changed, right? Which there's so much more that changes when a new coaching staff comes in than you think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody's like, oh, it's going to be sunshines, rainbows. Like, we got a new coach. Everything should be good, right? These guys they're going to get it. And then you realize, like, everything's restarted. Like, everything you had previously, like, the other staff kind of knew about you, it's gone. You got to, like, prove it again. So me missing spring ball was definitely weird. You know, because I felt like the staff knew me and liked me, but I still had to, like, kind of show them that I could play, you know, and then without putting any pads on for spring ball, you're way behind the 8 ball. But, I think the new staff definitely coming in helped us, and obviously it helped us, and it was a great change and helped me personally, so I'm very thankful for that, and the whole thing has been a blast.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So you're going into you played 2 full seasons because you still have 2 years left?
So I played my full freshman season, and then my sophomore year was COVID, so I got the whole year back, and then the next year I was technically a sophomore, and third game in had shoulder surgery. Then this next year I was a redshirt sophomore, so I think I hold the only 2-time sophomore All-American award, which is pretty sweet because I got one my sophomore year, and then this year as a redshirt sophomore, 2 years down the road, I got it again.
Yeah, dude,
which is actually hilarious.
You're gonna break some records. Are you close to, like, breaking any records right now, or are you already broken some?
Well, so I broke the single season touchdown record. This last year was 16, and then I'm.
I mean, you can just turn it up a little bit, JP, if you want to.
I haven't. No, it's fine.
Yeah, it's good. And then
Twins.
Yeah, Jesus. Get off my back.
Hold the mic down here, guy.
And then I'm 3 touchdowns away from tying the all-time touchdown record for receptions here. And then I'm 1,200 yards away from becoming the all-time receiving leader. Here.
Okay.
And then I'm 79 receptions away from becoming the all-time receptions leader here. And all those match my stats from last season. So I have the capability of becoming like the Triple Crown Idaho receiver, which would be pretty sweet.
It's pretty
So
sweet.
badass.
But you know what's sweeter?
What, Joe?
Fucking Hogan playing spec.
No, 100%.
Nothing
dude.
A
beats
full-time
that.
spec.
Nothing beats that.
Okay, can you just like, what is the fucking difference? Okay, so it's winter workouts right now. Like, obviously everyone's doing the same. But, dude, when it gets to spring ball, oh, my God.
When the pads start cracking and the helmets start flying and the tears and the blood and everything goes down, I'll be watching.
Yep.
Right down on
From the
that
sideline.
side, throwing a ball right between my legs. Just, doing it the way everybody should.
Mm-hmm.
But, other people refuse, and it's hard to be great. It's hard to put that ball in between your legs every single time, but
Dude, honestly, it's the ticket out. It's the
some
fucking
of us
ticket.
managed to do it. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like, I played, so I wasn't recruited here to play long snapper, but I've got 2 years of starting middle linebacker under my belt now here at Idaho. But this last season, I figured if I was going to take a shot and try to go pro, it's probably with the whole snapping gig because, they're not dying to be like, oh, yeah, who's this 6'2", not that fast, not that big white dude
Yeah.
to come play linebacker for me. But they are going to be like, hey, this guy's really athletic for a long snapper. So that's why I figured make the move now, give myself a year to adjust, and then, try to see where it could take me.
I bet you are the most athletic long snapper in the country. I mean, those guys usually have a little stomach on them, and
I've never, I hate to say like I've never like practiced or that was never really my thing. But
Wait, what, practicing?
no,
Wait, what?
no, I never practiced long snapping. Like it wasn't like something.
tell us how you got in, like, because what was it, like the second or third game?
So I was up here and I long snapped in high school, and I was a true freshman. I was pretty down on the linebacker depth chart, but I was still traveling for linebackers because I was like top 7. So I was going to games, and it was our first game. We were at Penn State, which is just crazy, like 110,000 people.
Happy Valley.
Yeah, I mean, like you walk in there, what do they say? Penn State, we are Penn State, we are Penn State.
What's it,
Thank you, you're
110?
welcome. Like 110,000 people yelling back at you.
So badass.
Like it was really cool. And our long snapper there, his name, I'll keep it under wraps, but he was a super good dude. I really like him. He botched 2 snaps, and I still hadn't snapped at Idaho. Like I still had not like told the coaches I could snap, like anything. But he threw 2 snaps like, over the head. And then the next week I was starting at long snapper and never gave the position back up. So that's been my gig since I've been here. And it's a weird story. Like I didn't walk in doing it, but I am now.
So being twins, was it always a priority to play at the same college?
Yeah, that was a priority of ours the whole time. We looked at like every recruiter, and you guys play football. The recruiting process is crazy, right? The whole thing's up and down. It's a roller coaster ride. So we would talk to these coaches, and there's some schools that were interested in Hogan and not me, and there's some schools that were interested in me and not Hogan. And we'd look them both in the eyes and say, we don't care about playing together, right? But in reality, my parents, all they wanted us to do was play together because they come to every single game, every Saturday. They fly to the away games. They come here, and they're like, we can't be at both if you guys don't play at the same school. Yeah. So, that was a huge priority of ours, and I would say it was probably the most important part of our recruiting process, was making sure we ended up at the same spot.
I mean, just looking at this house, man. I mean, this entire just visiting for the weekend, like this place is really cool, and like you guys have a fucking setup. It's like you got the house here. You can walk to the school. Everyone knows you guys. Like it's a pretty cool feeling. Like it's kind of hard to like leave it, right?
Yeah.
In a way, like it's almost like before the real world. Like this is just like maximize like every thing you can do in college.
100%. I absolutely love it here. There's nothing I would change. Like I get to hang out every day with my brother and my cousin, like my 2 best friends, and we live together. We play video games together. We go to the dome and work out together, and then just the whole environment with the staff and the people around here. It's a great town. And I love how supported the school is. It's a small college town. Everybody knows the school.
Yeah, I agree.
And like, I think the coolest part is something I noticed when I came up here was every single restaurant you go into, every single like the little cafe places or whatever, like you'll go to a cafe and order a burrito and they'll stamp a little Idaho eye on the top of your burrito. And like you go to a pub and you order a beer and they bring you a glass that's got like an Idaho eye on it.
Yeah.
Like everything it's college orientated here. Like it's all about the school. It's all about the athletics. And like that is what I think is the beauty of going to like a smaller, like a small town college. Because like if you walk around ASU, nobody's got ASU stuff on.
Yeah.
Like nobody.
So many things going on.
And Tempe's huge, and Tempe's got 82,000 people that go to school there, but there's just not the same sense of like school pride.
Yeah.
And in turn, if you go to like U of A and that team starts winning, like you're on top of the world. That thing it's like secluded. It's got a huge, gorgeous campus.
Yeah, but Tucson's awful.
Oh, Tucson outside of the campus, you could do without. But Tucson within those walls, oh my goodness, it's the most fun time ever. And if you're on a basketball team there and you're winning, you're going to the Final Four, you're the man of all time. You got the entire environment's behind you. Tucson lives off that university because you guys know Tucson. Mm-hmm. So like that's the intern is, dude. You start winning games at a place like that, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
That's what makes college football great, though. It's like you would think like the big cities are gonna have the best schools, but it's like it's always the cities. It's always like the little towns. Like always like where these big campuses. It's the biggest part.
We
of
were
the
just
city.
there, Norman, Oklahoma. I
Yes.
mean, that entire town is the fucking campus.
Like everyone, it's like the entire community. It's like invested into the program, like not directly, but like just everyone's thinking about it. Like, okay, this is our fucking team. Like this is like what we can put our name on. And like this is like where we stand behind. Like this is what represents our community.
And you know, we don't like Idaho doesn't have any professional sports.
Yeah.
Like we've got some minor league baseball teams, which I mean is pretty lit, but like we don't have anything too ginormous. So everybody looks at Boise State and everybody looks at us, and it's like, all right, if we're going to a game this weekend, we're either going to the Vandals game or we're going to the Boise State game, you know, and they're 5 hours away. So if you're north, you just come here.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, realistically, this is something my dad would have loved to take me to if we lived in Potluck, Idaho, or Troy, or you know what I mean? Like one of these little places, he'd be like, oh, let's go watch a college football game. You know, like we go to ASU now and it's a 45-minute drive through traffic in the middle of Phoenix. Why, if you were in Idaho with nothing else going on, why wouldn't you be like, hey, I guess the game's the place to be? Like,
Nothing else going on this weekend.
like
Is there really a place called Potluck, Idaho? Is that a real town?
Potluck.
It's where I took my motorcycle driver's test.
Nice.
So so I had to switch my residency. That's an exciting story. I get here, I'm driving my moped. I've never been pulled over in a car, but I freaking have gotten pulled over on my moped like 4 times. And the 4th time I get pulled over, the guy looks at my ID and he's like, "You don't have a motorcycle endorsement." So the dude freaking charges me $100, like $100 fine, and then a $90 speeding ticket. I'm like, that's it. I'm getting my motorcycle license, right? I go in, and they're like, all right, like if you need a motorcycle license, you have to switch your residency to Idaho. You can't get your motorcycle license here, like signed off on the back of your Arizona ID. I'm like, all right, like it's what I got to do. I drive my moped every single day, right? She's a hog, 150cc, just an absolute unit. And
You might be out.
Am I not in the cut right now?
Yeah, you might want to scoot up just a little bit.
Or do you want to check?
Just scoot up.
Or cameraman, fuck.
Oh my God,
Jack,
yeah.
Jack,
I mean, my
Jack,
God.
get over here. Get in the
I'm still
camera
in
frame.
it?
Jack, get over here, Jack.
Is he in it, leaning back?
We got
No, just lean in, Joseph.
Then I'm out. I'm out now.
What do you not get about you being in and out of it?
No, I'm in. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. Fucking John. Let's go, baby.
Johnny boy. Johnny boy.
The 6'8" guy is gonna start climbing stairs.
Sneaking behind. Oh God. Well, we got another cameraman, and this guy, he's mute over here. He doesn't like to talk. He's a little
We've
shy.
been through like 10 fucking cameramen.
Really?
It's awful.
Well, it's a tough gig to replace.
As you can see, the production
They all
behind this
suck.
is a lot. and it's hard. Like, you have to learn it, and you really have to try.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars
really fucking
of
try.
equipment and investments.
Yeah, and he probably had quite the salary too.
Oh, he did.
So, I mean, I don't know what he's bitching about. He probably should have just showed up and started videotaping stuff.
We don't pay our workers. They just kind of like live in our house. Kind of like
The back
we got
house.
them chained up, and then, like, we just bring them out when it's time to do a podcast.
What is it? Child labor force? Like
Yeah.
South Park?
Exactly. Oh my God! Have you ever seen that South Park with the NCAA where they're making fun of
Colorado's
how they just
University
own
of Buffalo?
the players? They own the
Yes.
rights to the players.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Oh my God! I wish I could explain it better, but it's all-time South Park episode. All right. Okay, so people everyone's a stud in high school, right? Everyone who plays college, you were dominant in high school. What do you think the biggest thing for a high school player moving on to the next level to, like, translate that the best way? Because guys come and, like, for some reason they just don't work out, or it just doesn't make any sense, like, for them to fit in that program. Like, you were able to come and be successful right away, and obviously you weren't, like, heavily recruited, like, with bigger schools, but what you were able to do here and what you're doing now. I mean, what do you think that was? Like, was different training in high school? Were you just fundamentally sound? I mean, what?
You know, I had I call it a rude awakening, but it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. My junior year, I decided to transfer to a school called Saguaro High School, right? So, and I was transferring because I just was struggling getting recruited, man.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get there, without ever putting on a jersey, without ever, like, I haven't even done a team lift with the guys. Like, my third day in the school, I get offered by Nevada Reno. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, I couldn't get a scholarship anywhere. And then now I leave to this school and I get a scholarship. And so first of all, I'm forever thankful for Coach Mons and that staff. But what they did was they ran that high school program like a college. And it felt like I was really at a prep school. Like, I left for the year and it was 6 a.m. workouts, film after school. You have practice in the late afternoon. Your spring ball, we had spring ball, like a real spring ball that I'm having here. So when we got here, I felt very, like, comfortable in the schedule. And if I was at my original high school, I feel like this kind of would have been a culture shock to me. But since I was already doing something that was so structured and so just realistic to the real worlds of college football, I felt like it helped me just feed right in. And I also think another huge thing is when you get here, it sounds so stupid, get the coaches on your side. Be early, show up early, just do whatever they say. Yes, sir, no talking back for at least the first 3 months. Make them think, you know what, this is a guy that's going to listen to me and he's coachable. Because if you start your first 2 weeks off saying, no, I'm not, I don't want to play this position, or I don't want to do this. It's like, dude, you don't get it. These are the guys that are going to put you in position to be successful. You have to get them on your side.
Yeah. The big thing's ego too. Like,
You got to set
everyone
it
has a
aside.
big ego coming in. Dude,
Yeah.
But that's a pretty simple thing to say, but it's so true. It's so true.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. Like, it is really interesting looking in if you talk to every single kid on every single Division I football, basketball, baseball, golf, soccer, whatever Division I team, every single one of them will have a story about when they were great in high school and how good they were and what things that set them apart from everybody else. And the reality is, this is like just another more competitive high school in the sense that not everybody's going to get to be a star here. Like people are going to be role players. Like, even when I was starting on the defense, like, I was a role player. Like, I knew my role. I knew my job. I fit my gaps, fit my assignments, blitzed when I was supposed to, like, I really was just out there being a puzzle piece for the coach, but in the best way possible, because I was just learning and being coachable. And if everybody were to do that, you'd inevitably be a better football team. You'd be running the scheme, things would be matching up. Like, that's how you become good with a football team, is everybody cohesively works together. But that ego thing is a big problem, because a lot of people are like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to contain this. I'm going to split the gap and try to dive in and make a sack. And the second you do that, the quarterback scrambles for 15 yards and you give up a 3rd and 12, So it's like, yes, everybody's great, but we need everybody to also be role players. Like it's just the way
It's a team sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the biggest team sport. That's
It
like
is.
football. It's like the last team sport in a way. Like I think baseball's kind of like you're an individual. You're by yourself hitting. Football, you need 10 guys. Like you have to do your job right, and then you need 10 other dudes to do the same fucking thing right.
Yeah.
Because if one guy messes up, then the entire play looks awful. And if the entire play looks awful, then the OC looks like an idiot. And if the OC looks like the idiot, then the head coach is the fucking dumbass to hire the OC. And then the boosters are the idiot for pushing the head coach. So it's like a ripple effect.
No, totally.
So everything's like connected.
Live through it.
And yeah, it's
I'll say this. Football has that perfect medium, though, where you can really take over a game. No matter what position you're at, I mean, I love my O-line, right? If they don't block, like if we give up 0 sacks, we're probably going to win that game. Mm-hmm. Like that is dominating the front.
Yeah.
But in turn, like as a receiver, you can go for freaking 4 touchdowns, 200 yards. Quarterback, you could throw for 500 yards and just light up the world. Now, do you need each other? Of course, but you still have that like takeover ability of a game where like one person can really change something. Mm-hmm. And baseball, you have the same thing, but it's not nearly as drastic.
yeah.
Like basketball, you have that takeover. You have that like the guy goes for 55, shoots 9 from 10 from the arc, like just absolutely lights the world on fire. In baseball, if you hit a home run 3 times in a game, you're like probably if you do that every game, you're a Hall of Famer, of course. But that there's a way less chance of winning that game compared to a guy throwing for 8 touchdowns and lighting up. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
in turn, like
you smack 3 homers, you could still lose.
you could still lose.
know?
Like,
I'm thinking
the
the
pitcher is the only one that really like if you're a pitcher and you shut out a team, you can't lose.
You won that game, yeah.
You can't, you know.
That's got to be one of the coolest feelings, though, is throwing a no-hitter.
No hitter for sure.
Dude, holy shit.
So tough. I had one in high school. I thought I was the man.
hitter in high school?
Yeah.
That's so insane.
Thought I was the man. I'm like, dude, I'm just.
He was a knuckleballer. He's like
knuckleball?
65% knuckleball.
They had like the little throw chart. I threw back in high school like 54% knuckleball.
What?
Yeah. And then like the other
you like-
25 were curveball and fastball.
You got to know the guy from the Mets, R.A. Dickey.
Yeah, of course I know
Dude,
R.A. Dickey.
Holy shit.
He's the man.
50% of the time you're throwing a knuckleball.
Yeah, because nobody saw it in high school, and like I wasn't like I was a good baseball player. I was a great hitter. Like that's where I was really good. Like I was the Arizona Offensive Player of the Year in my junior year for baseball, and then I didn't even play my senior year. But like pitching, I never had that takeover badge, and I figured like the only way to get it was like just start throwing knuckleballs. Nobody knows how to hit them.
Yeah.
Could you throw a ethos?
I could put it up
Fucking
there.
ethos.
I could
What's
put
that
one
going,
up
like
there.
30 miles?
I have no idea, but oh my goodness, if somebody threw a moon ball to me, I would swing so freaking hard at it, and if I missed it, I would be so frustrated because there's how many times. Like you guys have all played baseball. How many times has somebody just absolutely lobbed a buttercup to you?
Give you a meatball.
Like
God, I think I quit baseball right after the pitching machine. I don't think I made it.
I think I quit during the pitching machine.
T-ball.
Well, our cameraman was a great baseball player.
was.
He played for the Bakersfield Heat.
Yeah.
He's big time.
One of the greatest junior baseball organizations of all time, I'd have to think, right?
Oh yeah.
Let's face it. Jack peaked as a 7-year-old playing for the Heat. It was.
I don't know. He almost hit a 3-pointer last night. That was pretty.
Oh,
that would
almost a game winner.
too.
Yeah.
Almost hit a game winner.
There's this in the Big Sky especially. They made this new rule where it's like a 19-point shot, and Jack was. I'm not gonna make fun. Whatever. It looked good, Jack. You got to keep shooting. You just got to keep shooting, man.
It'll go in.
But,
It will.
what are we doing on time with? We got
We're at 24 minutes, almost 25, and we're at 11:16.
11:16.
So I still got to pack up a little bit.
What time do we have to be on?
An hour. They're saying an hour.
1 hour from right
before.
now.
Tiny little airport. You got your baggage people who check your baggage and load the plane.
They do both.
It's
They're doing
it's
it
the
all.
double dip. And so once those people stop collecting baggage, you can't put it in because they're out there loading the baggage on the plane. So you got to get there like hour, 45 minutes early, and you're golden. There's no wait
hour
time.
and 45.
Hour
2:45. Yeah.
2:45.
I just want to say, dude, this has been such a fun weekend.
It's really.
I
appreciate
I really like Moscow.
We got to make a visit one more time.
Oh, 100%. When'd you guys the spring game?
Actually, I think I got that. I think I just saw that on the page.
Sometime in April, right?
Well, it's got to be an 8.
I'd love the drive up here.
Dude, how far's the drive? 19 hours?
17 or 19.
For you guys? It's 22 back to Scottsdale.
Yeah, so 17 for us.
Yeah.
The spring game is April 28th.
Okay.
Shit.
Okay.
We took a 2-day trip down to Arizona because all right, this was back when COVID was hot and it was 2020 and we both got COVID, but we got COVID like 2 days before we were supposed to leave for winter break, right? And the training staff and the coaches were like, you can't fly home. Like you can't go, like you can't fly home. Like you can't be on a plane with COVID. And Hayden and I are like, that's bullshit. Like I want to fly home. Like whatever. Like I'm not staying for an extra 10 days here when I only get to go home for 14. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were like, that's it. We packed up the car, just started driving back to Arizona. And that was like one of the coolest experiences ever.
Dude, you can see the country.
Well, we were driving when it was like 4 a.m. We got up at like 4 a.m. the second day when we were in Ely, Nevada. And we were just driving down. And it's crazy to see how the sky goes from straight black with stars because you're out in the middle of the desert. There's no like cloud coverage or anything. It's beautiful. Black with stars to like purple. Then you see the crest of the sun. Like it's a cool experience, but like half the sky is dark and the other half is light, beginning to be lit up. Like it's just a cool thing to look at for sure. Like if you haven't done it, do it.
Yeah.
No, we did it.
We just drove to Dallas. 24 hours. Or it ended up
Where
being 24
to
hours.
where?
We started in Bakersfield, obviously.
Okay.
We drove to Tucson.
Shithole.
Yeah, saw
Not the biggest
Tucson.
fan.
How long were you guys in Tucson?
5 hours. Like,
Yeah.
We left at 3 in the
Slept
morning
and bounced.
hit the road.
It's the same thing with us in Ely. That not
we
a
were
great
gonna spend
place.
the night, and then we're just like, "Fuck it, let's just go. This place sucks."
You go to the strip club in Tucson?
No, but I've been to La Girls in Tempe.
The girls? Yeah.
Jump
the
Walk-
Diamond Club is pretty nice
Jump
too.
Walk
over there.
cannot get
I
enough
don't
of
like
the girls.
girls.
Wait, what'd you just say?
I said I don't like La Girls.
Were the girls not very nice to you?
No, they weren't. It was New Year's Eve, and I threw all my ones. I got 101s cashed, and this fucking bitch was dancing on stage and was like, you got to throw some money if you're just gonna look. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, there's 50 other fucking people in here, and you're just singling me and Dallas out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know who Dallas is, but
Do you think she just went, that guy's poor? And
What a bitch.
Most
It's New
likely.
Year's.
I know, right?
I mean, Jesus Christ.
keep dancing.
I left
Yeah.
after that.
It's like saying something makes me not want to pay
Yeah.
even more. Like, I'll throw you a fucking, like a penny.
But other than that, I love Arizona. I think Arizona is a gorgeous state. I think
It's gorgeous.
super cool.
I thought
Golf.
Tempe was really cool. I thought like that area, Scottsdale, really fucking nice. All right. I got one question. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna see you guys again. We're gonna do like a
Yeah, this is the
actual
part
Yeah,
full
we need a
podcast.
2-hour just go at it
yeah.
down in Huntington or something.
But okay, if partying is something that's around everyone sees it. There's distractions everywhere. How do you balance both things, like working for something, like working for a goal, working something in sports, football, basketball, whatever, and balancing that with like a social life? Like what would you tell like younger athletes how to manage that?
Go ahead, Hayden. This is your specialty.
What do you mean?
Just the most responsible human being in the face
Well,
of the planet.
No, if I got workouts in the morning or something going on, I mean, I'm not the guy who wants to stay out till 3:30 a.m. anyways. Like I love being in, I guess. Now I love going to the Dirty Goat. Shout out Josh. You're the man.
Shout out
Josh.
to Dirty Goat.
Yeah.
Josh
Dirty
is the
Goat.
man.
Great place.
Great place in Moscow. I love going to places like that, playing pool with my friends and stuff. But for the most part, like if I have a 10 a.m. workout, I'm not gonna be out till 2, 3 o'clock. Like just because then I wake up and I feel like ass, and I'm not gonna be good. And and if I'm out there running routes, like I'm suicidal if I drop a ball. Like it doesn't matter if it's in air or like whatever's going on. Like I gotta, for myself, I need to go out there and freaking ball out. The only thing that matters is catching the ball.
Yeah.
Right. Like so if I'm out there and I don't feel like I can do it, like I'm just gonna piss myself off, and there's no reason for me to go and do that. You know.
Mm.
But I think like work-life balance, it's more of just being responsible in the fact of like, hey, tomorrow's President's Day. I can have a couple beers tonight and be completely fine by Tuesday morning when I have my workout. But on Monday night, I'm not going to have a couple beers and be a little hungover on Tuesday, you know?
Yeah. Generally speaking, we as in most people in this house, there's a blonde person in this house that doesn't abide by the same rules, but most people in this house, we only drink when we don't have anything going on the next day.
Okay.
So it's just most of the time. But
Is he passed out?
No.
is he asleep?
No.
It's pretty early. I mean, it's what is it? Almost 12 o'clock. It is early. He probably is out.
Sunday nap.
That's good, though. I like that. You only drink on days
Yeah.
you know you have nothing going on the next day.
Yeah, just because, I mean, you don't want to. The problem is, dude, our lifts are so damn hard that like you just won't get through it if you're hungover.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just tough.
Yeah, you got to
stuff.
be in shape. You got to.
I know, it sucks.
Like,
you got to be in shape.
You have to be. No, you have to be in
Such an
shape
awful
to do
thing
it.
to do.
No, yeah.
God damn.
I hate how easy it is to lose it, though.
Oh,
I hate
Yeah.
that's like the
first hand
that
over here,
annoys me
bud.
so
Bro, without
much.
structure,
Lost it pretty quick.
Without structure, it is so tough. But I mean, like, there's nothing like going home and playing basketball. Like for like I love being able to run around and play at the rec or something. That is what's going to keep me in shape for the longest time once I'm done with football. Because I'm not going to go run on a treadmill, and I'm not going to go take a 4-mile jog around the block, and that's just not me. I'll try to. I'm much more likely to gain 500 pounds and try to power lift before I start becoming a freaking cross-country marathon runner. Like, there's just no way. That is horrible. You never see a jogger smile when they're running. You never see a guy, like, having a good time with his Beats headphones on as he's sprinting across, like, an elementary school parking lot in front of his freaking kid's house. Like, there's just nothing fun about it. The entire thing is so bad. I don't get it. But some people freaking do it every day, and they love it. But it won't be for me.
You two are pretty good at basketball, too, right?
Yeah, we
Down at the rec?
We dabble a little bit of basketball. Yeah, I mean, there's 3 of us that took on some Idaho Vandal basketball players in a 3-on-3 game, 3 football, 3 basketball, and when, we went 3-0 on them, and that felt pretty good.
That's great to hear.
Yeah,
Were you playing against a guy on
one?
the
Yeah, one of the Vandal basketball players we were actually playing against is in this house right now. The blonde one I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So he's a good little cat. He can shoot it. That's for sure.
He's got a nice little arc on his shot.
When you're doing like the mat drills, when you're doing workouts, that's not fun?
No, but you're with all your friends.
Yeah.
Like, as stupid as it sounds, it's like
Running group.
Well, at least we got a running group, but a running group is so lame compared to like
It is,
being yelled at by people, and you're all out there together, being like, "Wow, like I can't believe we're actually doing this." Like when that's going on, you're like, "Whoa!" Like
The Petrino days were so different, guys.
Is that the strength coach?
No, Petrino was our old head coach the one who recruited us here. That man is the most intense. Just like I actually really like him. A lot of people didn't, but I really like him, and Hayden does too. But he is just the most intense, crazy coach like you could ever imagine. Literally, you could have made movies about what this guy would do. Like,
You got a story? Or you can't say. It's messed
I'll
up.
give you a good one, like one of his like quick ones.
Yeah. Do a little PG.
He
version.
was he you were a pussy if you wore pants.
yeah,
And cold practices.
Don't be a bitch. Don't wear
So
pants.
we would go out there at 5:45 in the morning. Okay, well, first of all, Vandal time. You had to show up at 5:15 to be ready for 5:45 because if he beat you on the field, you were late. So if he ran out on the field at 5:33, you were late if you weren't there by 5:33. Like whenever he was on the field is when we started.
Okay.
So,
It didn't matter.
So you had to be there 30 minutes early, no matter what time of the day, no matter what. We'd have meetings that started at like 5 p.m. and we'd have a kid walk in at 4:55 and the meeting would be done.
What?
Yeah.
Because we started at 4:30.
So
and
you
like literally the meeting would finish at 5. That was supposed to start at 5 because we started 30 minutes early.
What a mind fuck.
That is a mindfuck.
Right. So like you had to be there.
didn't matter.
Like, and it was called Vandal time, right? Or whatever. So, he would run out there and it would be snowing 3 degrees, 4 degrees, freaking snow is up to his shin. And he's out there in running shorts. In running shorts. Come on! Come on! We're like, oh my God. Like, dude, nobody's going to look at you any differently if you put on some freaking pants.
Yeah.
So, but that was his
Is this
thing.
an old guy or?
He was 58,
So-
59.
So no shorts, Montana, or no pants, Montana born and raised, right?
Yeah.
And if your hands were cold, you couldn't have your hands in your pockets. You couldn't put your hands.
Oh, that's the worst.
You had to have your hands out. Because if your hands were cold, clap your hands. If your hands are cold,
If your hands are cold, clap them.
No way.
What? This is like my 3rd day.
Bro, like we
Right,
just
like,
showed up.
I'm
Like,
like, dude, this is
Like, this
nuts.
guy's psychotic.
But it was so funny because I look back and I'm like, dude, I have some of the craziest stories that aren't PG or whatever, and it's just like that is something that could never be taken away from me. The fact that dude was my coach and he was that nuts and it was hilarious to at the end of the day. That's what I thought college football was for the longest
Me
time
too.
until now.
So
I
we-
thought every school in the country had that until
we
I
used to
got
do
the
this
new
thing.
staff.
We used to do this thing called punish meetings.
Okay.
And these were the fucking best. They were called punish meetings because anytime you made a highlight play in the game before, we would put the highlight up on the board. It would be cuts of everybody's plays. But, only the good plays get to go. And there, there's usually only like 7 or 8. It's pretty like it's tough to get a punish shirt, right? That's what they call them, punish shirts, and they'd give you a shirt that said punish on it every time you got one. So we'd be in these punish meetings and he'd go, all right, here's a big hit that Logan Kendall put on the D end. Here's a big hit from the fullback on the D end. All right, everybody. And we'd all go, bam!
That's awesome.
The whole team. And dude, I thought everybody did it. I was like, this is college football, man. Like this is normal.
Dude, I mean, there's a lot of schools like that, though. I mean,
Dude, it was
awesome.
so crazy and fun. Just like times I will never forget.
dude, the Vandal times got me fucked up. What?
Yeah, Vandal time. That is a real thing.
So you got to like track these coaches. Like, where are they at all times?
It was you just if practice started at 2:30 and you needed to tape your ankles and whatever you needed to do, you had to be there at 1:30 to make sure you were ready to take the field, ready to practice at 2 if practice was at 2:30. Because whenever that dude ran out on the field, that's when practice started. And there was a lot of kids who had no idea like that would happen. Like especially like my sophomore year, we have a couple kids show up and we have 9 freshmen late to our first workout because they have no idea that it's going to start 30 minutes early.
Yeah.
Right. And then from that point on, we were all very aware of it. Right. Everybody's like aware of it. But when you get these transfer kids or some people that were at different colleges and they come into that situation, sometimes it doesn't work a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Right. Like, cause it was just very different. It was structured so different. If the most annoying thing about Vandal time, cause I could care less if I had to be there an hour early for practice. Cause if it's going to start at 2:30, I get done 30 minutes early.
Exactly.
Right. Like that was like my mindset. I didn't care about being there early cause it always started early. So it was consistently 30 minutes early.
Yeah.
So really you just looked at the clock like, okay, 2:30 practice starts at 2, right? Like you got that down. But the most annoying thing was pre-game. If we had like a game at 12 and the wake up call on our thing for Saturday said like 7:30, the most annoying thing was having to be up at fucking 6:45 because
You'd have to be down there
by 7 to freaking start your walkthrough. And it's like I just didn't like that for a game day. I wanted to sleep in, and any other time we did Vandal time, I could care less. I was never late. But
Game days.
game day was the time I was like, you know what?
So we are this is I want to give you guys like an image in your head, like what we used to do pregame. So we would come down into the like lobby of whatever hotel we're staying at.
Okay.
And
Best Western Embassy Suite,
dude, we
just
are
whatever
just
hotel
balling.
we're in.
Okay, we are balling, and we're sitting in this hotel, and it's like 6:45 in the morning. There's 80 dudes in a fucking like literal, you know, just a little lobby way, waiting for like the two guys that aren't on Vandal time, right? Because there's always two guys that are fucking late. So they come jogging down, and literally right when like it would always be like Puffer or like one of my buddies, but right when they come jogging down, everybody would just start going, clap, 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 clap. Yeah, yeah.
And
Like
we're
yelling.
screaming. We're screaming in the lobby of a
Like
hotel at 7 a.m.
7 in the morning.
That is hilarious.
People are waking up, and we come on, full sprint out
And
the
then-
front
but
door.
Petrino leads the way. So he'd be
Oh
like,
my God.
ready? Come on. And he'd put his hand up and run out the front door, and everybody would follow him. Like, run outside. Like he's a
I
little
love that
leader.
about a coach, honestly.
But we're clapping and we're yelling, and we have people like opening their blinds, like, what the fuck is going on? And we're just screaming for our walkthrough at 6:45 in the morning before a game at 12.
Just howling.
I mean, your first about like making coaches be on your side. This whole thing, like just Vandy time or Vandal time, like you have to give yourself to the team. Like you can't be an individual. There's no way. Like fuck that. I'm gonna wake up. It's 7,
Dude,
Like, you can't do that. Like or you're off the team.
100%. And that's why a lot of the kids that transferred didn't pan out here, I think, because it was a different system. It was a very different system. There was you had to be early. Nobody was better than anybody else. It didn't matter who you were. If you were late, you were late. If you were not trying hard at practice, you were going to be running, or he was going to kick you out of practice. Like there was no separation between anybody in the entire team. And yeah, you did have to give yourself and be like, you know what? Ego in the back pocket. Whatever coach says goes. I'm just going to listen.
Oh, when he would bait you into talking back.
How would he bait you?
Like, so this is more of a Hayden story because Hayden was on the offense and he was always down with the offense. But go ahead on your whole steps in
Well, so he, my new staff, I absolutely love that they just let me run my route, right? Like they say, hey, 12 yards, 10 yards, whatever, like get to this, break them off, do your thing, whatever, like add some flair to it. But with P, it was by steps. So like if we had a 5-4 curl, it was 5 steps, 4 steps, curl, right? Like you needed to know your steps. There was like that's how it was ran, right? So one time I probably ran the steps a little wrong or whatever, and he would yell at me, and I was now a sophomore, had 1 year under my belt, never talked back, right? I've never talked back, no matter what. I've just been, yes, sir. Like, wanted to make sure I'm on the good graces. Well, this time he goes, what were you thinking? Right? And I'm like, well, coach, shut the fuck up. I'm like, you just asked me what I was thinking. Like I'm like, last time I do that, like I'm not. So
how are you supposed to respond to that?
You don't. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Even if he asked you a question, you just say yes, sir.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Well, I was thinking, God damn it, shut the fuck up. And you're like,
you just don't. You just it was yes, sir. I'll get it right. Sorry, yes, sir. That was it.
but I really like the dude. Like, I respected him. Like I did like the guy. Like I really like Petrino. I will always like that guy.
Yeah, I'll always be thankful for
Where's he at right now?
Central Michigan.
Central Michigan.
Oh, nice.
D1. Yep.
Oh, he's fucking running those boys in the snow right now.
I think he's the offensive coordinator there now.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
pretty cool.
They put up like 49 points against who is it? Like some FBS, like a big FBS team, and lost by like 3. Like he actually had like a good season. Like he had a good offensive year.
That's good.
Central Michigan, was that the team that like had Fleck and they went undefeated?
Is it?
Central
no idea.
Michigan is like the brown poo color, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so that is it. They were like
Yeah.
undefeated a couple of years ago, but what are we doing on time here?
We're at 44 minutes, and
No,
it
like-
is it's 11:36.
All right, yeah, we got to pack. But
Thank you, boys.
dude, thanks
This
for
has
having
been
us this
fun.
weekend.
Thanks,
Thank you
Cameraman
for
Jack.
coming on.
Thanks, John.
We'll have to do this again.
Dude,
You guys are the
we'll do it
best,
again
dude.
for sure.
We're doing it in Huntington.
We'll do it
soon.
again.
Yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
so down.
And if you made it this far, go fuck yourself.
Thanks for watching.